So y'all remember that one insane grifter loser, Oli London, the one British dude who got all those surgeries to look like Jimin and be Korean? Yeah, well, guess what? That motherfucker now, he's on Tucker Carlson being transphobic as hell. Now, if you don't know who Oli London is, I'll do you the displeasure of an introduction. He's this white British dude who got all these surgeries in an attempt to look like Jimin from BTS. And he just like basically publicly fetishizes East Asian people, like East Asian men and women. Like, he is weird as hell. Not only was this fetishization of just broadly Korean people, but it's also over hyper-specific members of different K-pop groups, such as Jimin from BTS or Rosé from Blackpink. He would just say a bunch of weird things, like weirdly kind of sexual things, weirdly just invasive things, act like he knew them all the time, act like he was friends with them. He got married to a cardboard cutout of Jimin, like just a bunch of weird stunts like this that honestly just, it's harassment. He was harassing these people. You know what I mean? Part of this harassment was spending like $130K in order to get plastic surgeries to look like Jimin. Now, did that work? No, not at all. Why the fuck would it? And then after they got these surgeries, they claimed that they was now Korean because of this, and just claim the identity of transracial. Now, transracial, if you don't know what that is, it's a slap in the face to like trans people. That's what it is. It's an attempt to equate gender and race as equals just because they both social constructs, which is dumb because gender is a social construct that is based on sex and sex characteristics and how people perceive you and how you perceive yourself in relation to the others around you based on those sex characteristics, while race is a social construct that was used to create a racial hierarchy with white people at the top and black people at the bottom in order to justify the enslavement of Africans. Notice how one is based in like physical characteristics and the other was just created so they could like enslave people. It's not the same thing. They don't operate the same way. That's dumb as hell. And he's been pulling this weird grift from the beginning, like trying to get all this attention. He just thrives on attention. That's what his whole thing was. He tries to get attention any way possible. That's part of the reason he did those weird ass harassment things when it comes to like those K-pop idols. But that doesn't work forever. Motherfuckers don't really care about just a weird guy doing weird things for all time. And he quickly fell out of relevancy. But in the recent couple of months, he has been getting back in the public eye a little bit because he's been very openly transphobic as compared to his like veiled transphobia from the beginning. He now claims that for 6 months he was living as a trans woman and then decided to detransition, even though this is not the case. He's never been a trans woman. He's not trans. I'll show you in a clip later, but he's trying to spin the surgeries he got in order to look Korean as like transition surgeries, like gender transition surgeries and shit like that, which is what? That's not how that works. And at the time where he was supposedly living as a trans woman, he was just tweeting really transphobic things the entire time, specifically targeting trans women. He's just making the shit up. Like, for example, during the time where he was supposedly a trans woman, he was tweeting shit like, oh, like the radical elements of the left are trying to waste women. That's not shit that a trans woman says, because what the fuck? Like, what? And his grift gets more credibility to motherfuckers who don't know who he is, to these like old right-wing transphobes who don't really understand all of this, who just see this dude being like, yo, I used to be trans and now all that woke da-da-da, whatever the fuck da-da-da, when in reality that's not the case at all. Also, when he supposedly detransitioned, he tweeted, JK Rowling converted me to being a man again with her tweet. She's my conversion therapy therapist. Thank you, JK, for casting your magic on me, da-da-da. He's like, this is just bullshit. He just says anything he can to get attention. And the thing is, in his bid to get attention, it's kind of working, because he used to get like 30 likes a tweet, and now he's getting like 400 likes a tweet. And then guess what? After all of this, he's ended up on Tucker Carlson. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna show you the clip.
But 6 months later, he's decided he's had enough. Now he's transitioning back to being a British man. We thought we would ask him what that experience was like. Oli London joins us tonight. Oli London, thanks so much for coming on. So why did you decide to become a Korean woman? Who told you that was possible?
So obviously I've had a difficult time with my gender identity struggles. I was never unhappy with how I looked. So I started changing. I started dressing as a Korean woman, and I realized that was a big mistake, and I just want to be a boy.
Notice how he didn't answer the question. Tucker Carlson's question was, who told you it was okay to live as a Korean woman, to change your race or whatever the fuck? He doesn't answer that question. He says, oh, I had gender identity struggles, so I try to present as a Korean woman. That's what the fuck? That's not what he asked. See, it's just bullshit.
And young people want to change their gender when we have the normalization of this in our schools in this country. Children are taught from a young age, from the age of 5 in some cases, that it's okay to change their gender. It's okay to, you know, wear a skirt.
He just goes on talking about like what's going on in schools, all this stuff going on in schools. This motherfucker is a 32-year-old British man. He's talking about American schools. He wouldn't know what's going on in a British school right now. He would have no idea. And he's trying to say what's going on in an American school. I can tell you, I just got out of high school like a year or two ago. That shit is not accepted for trans people. I was not out. I was not out to myself, to nobody. That I got called. All those teachers didn't really give a fuck. It is not an accepted place for queer people. And he's trying to say this fucking narrative of like, oh, like children's being taught in schools this. No, that's not true at all. We don't even have good sex education in the United States. You think they're really talking about gender identity and shit like that? Hell no. This shit is so unbelievably embarrassing for Fox News because it just proves they have to get these absolutely insane just idiots to try and push their stupid transphobic culture war bullshit. Not that they had a bunch of credibility to begin with this stuff, but like, come on. But with all the things he says, there's no basis in fact. It's just a grab for attention with the same things as he's been doing this entire time. The thing is, the viewers of Fox News probably ate that shit up because they probably haven't really met a trans person before, or they have, but they never had conversations with them about it. They don't know about Oli London and the weird shit he's been doing the entire time he's had an internet presence. This motherfucker's a loser. This motherfucker is a loser. I'm just honestly flabbergasted that there is people who will put their bodies through shit like this just to be hateful. I mean, I hope he gets help, but also like karma's a bitch, man. That's all I had to say. If you like this video, click that video right there. I'm sure you're gonna like that video. If you like this video, comment down below some thoughts, some opinions, like the video and subscribe. Bye-bye.